Hey man,
Welcome.
welcome back to the Super Divorce YouTube channel. Nicholas Villars here, aka Super Divorce, and today, something a little bit different. I wanted to come on here and say first of all that, well, I choose now to live as a Gamestop shareholder. That's the number one message and the main reason for me making this video here tonight. That's why. If you're not interested in that kind of thing, that's fine. That's okay. You don't have to sit around here and watch. You don't have to watch anything at all. You don't have to watch anything on YouTube even. But you're here, and maybe you want to hear what I got to say about this. Maybe not. Look, before I go any further into the GameStop stuff, let me tell you something. I've been seeing all these videos come up through my feed from these influencers, and they're like, hey YouTubers, if you got a channel, why don't you just try making some content where you're just talking to the camera for a few minutes? Because YouTube's really pushing that right now. So you might have some success. You might find that viewers are out there and they're searching for videos where people are just sitting down and talking to their cam, shooting from the hip, shooting the shit. I said, okay, I can do that for a few minutes. I can probably do that. You got guys out there. You got your Charlies. You got your whoever the hell else does shit like that where it's just like a guy. It's just a guy. He's like, hey, I'm a guy. Let me talk to you for a few minutes about this. And so why don't I talk to you for a few minutes about GameStop and the stocks, the stock market, Roaring Kitty and such. The things that inspired me to become a GameStop shareholder, some people might consider fairly late in the game. And I also have to throw the disclaimer out there. You're supposed to do this, I suppose. I've been watching a bunch of YouTubers talking about this. Anytime people talk about stocks, the stock market, and all that kind of stuff, you got to let everyone know, hey, this is not financial advice I'm going to give you. I'm not telling you what to do. In fact, I'm telling you, do not listen to what I'm about to tell you with an eye towards what you are going to do yourself. This is just me talking to you about my experience, and if it echoes your own, fair enough. But don't look to me for guidance, because I am, as people like to say within the community, a retard, an ape. And I am just knuckle dragging my way around trying to figure out what to do next. That's all. I missed the boat in 2021 when all this shit was going down. I looked into it a little bit. There was also a big craze in crypto at the time, and that's kind of the direction I went. I wish I hadn't. I wish I had not done that, because obviously not only was there money to be made, but also I'm getting caught up on the community that rallied around GameStop. And that's actually one of the coolest aspects of getting involved in all this, is just seeing the sense of camaraderie and the people rally together over this cause, you know, not just wanting to get back at the big guys, but also wanting to support a company that many people grew up with. People feel like over time, a lot has been taken from us, a lot that we grew up with. A lot of our favorite stores no longer exist. You have fewer malls to go and walk around and hang out in. You don't have Toys R Us anymore. Well, you've got like the little installations they put in Macy's, and that's better than nothing. I mean, that's nice, but it's not the experience of walking into that huge Toys R Us store and just being bedazzled and just, you know, just being completely enthralled with all the toys as far as the eye can see, all the different aisles and all the different things you're imagining when you're walking through there, what you're going to look at next, what's been stocked since the last time you were there. And luckily, I got to take my oldest son to Toys R Us on many occasions before they shuttered and the big box Toys R Us stores went away for good. Thankful for that. But, my other two sons are never going to have that experience, seemingly, unless they bring Toys R Us back in a big way, which I hope they do. That'd be really cool. But, I see Toys R Us come up a lot when people are talking about what the short sellers and the hedge fund guys tried to do to GameStop. It's like they tried to do to GameStop what they did to Toys R Us, and they got their dicks caught in the zipper, as it were. And it's still going on to this very day. The saga is far from over. And so I've been getting up to speed lately, just trying to figure out what happened in the lead up to 2021, what happened since then, and what's going on right now with Roaring Kitty, Keith Gill, coming back and doing his first live stream yesterday in 3 years, which I thought was masterful. I mean, a lot of people were really upset by it. And I've even seen some people within the community who were let down. But not me. I thought it was great, and I haven't been around long at all. I'm a noob. I will admit that. First to admit it. I have a very small bag of GameStop compared to what many people have. I'm happy to have gotten in on it at all. So, again, not financial advice, but hear that that question asked, is it too late to get involved? I'm not telling you go out and buy stocks. I'm not telling you to get invested in it at all. I'm just saying I don't think that it's too late. I think that this story is far from over. There's so much to explore. There's so much to read. If nothing else, if you're just looking for a cool hobby, just something interesting to dive into, just to understand a particular moment in time in human history, this is it's just, there's so many twists and turns to it. There's so much cool shit to read, so many different accounts to read, so many people who have done a lot of work, who've gone digging, doing their due diligence and their deep dives to come up with just great material, fantastic, entertaining, and also informative material that you can read. Just ebook after ebook and article after article and post after post after thread after thread. So much of stuff you could just comb through. There's probably more of it out there than you could even digest if you spent the rest of your life trying to go back and read everything. You can't. There's too much. But that to me shows that there's depth to the situation. And there are so many people who are investigating and who are doing research and who are then taking that research and turning it into some of the things I mentioned, ebooks and articles and just threads. So much stuff out there, so much information. What you don't have to do is read what the big guys have to say about the damn shit. You don't have to go to CNBC. You don't have to listen to Jim Cramer. You don't have to listen to what the top financial analysts have to say. I mean, it's worth taking everyone's opinions into account, but what I'm saying is the good thing is that if you check out all the mainstream shit, I mean, you've barely scratched the surface. There's so much stuff, so much substantial analytics and deep diving that has gone on where people have gone below the surface and they have done the work of bringing up treasure troves of information, hard factual data that they've combed through, that they then present, that you can read through yourself. And they've done a lot of work that the guys at the major networks and major news publications, if we can even call them that anymore, are not willing to do. And that's, again, what's cool about this community is that so many people are fired up about it. And they're not just hyped up. They're not high on hopium. They're actually invested in learning the ins and outs of everything that's going on. And And just knowing what's going on is like kind of a reward in and of itself. It's one of the things I'm having most fun with is just, okay, now I'm going to read this thing. And I know when I get done reading this, as is said, I have a few more wrinkles on my smooth brain. Very smooth brained right now. I mean, it's like, it's a fucking huge marble in there. Just I can feel it smoothly rolling around. But every now and again, it turns and it hits a piece of my cranium, and I can feel that, oh, that wasn't totally smooth. That spot, that's forming a little wrinkle line right there. Maybe that's from that thing I read yesterday. And so that's fucking cool, right? So what's the point in me telling you all this? I don't fucking know, really. I just wanted to get on because there are so many people who are posting great videos about GameStop and everything that's going on with the shares right now. I thought it would be fun to just fucking jump in here as a noob and be out here, coming out, living my life, choosing to live my life now as a GameStop shareholder, and to do it openly as an admitted noob who has a very small bag, who would like to expand it, and who hopefully will see over time that my hands are, in fact, as diamond-esque as I like to think they are right now. I'm not here hoping that the MOAS hits next week so that I can take a bunch of money and run. I really believe in the cause. I believe in what the company's doing. As someone who's worked for GameStop on, we could say, multiple tours of duty in my life, where I've worked for them, left, went back. It's been a little while now since my last tour of duty, but it was a fun job. There's bullshit about it that I didn't like, of course, pushing the power-up cards, and they were doing this weird shit for a while. I'm shooting straight with you. Hopefully they're not doing this anymore. I remember a while ago. This was pre RC. So I don't even know who the fuck was the chairman at the time. But I remember this order coming down in email one day where they're like, if someone brings up a new game and you have it pre-owned, just go ahead and grab them the pre-owned copy and like slide it in there. Just ring up the pre-owned copy and slide it in there and don't say anything. And I was like, that seems a little fucking underhanded to me. That seems like horse shit. Because if they're not paying attention, they get home, they pull the game out of the bag, and it's like, what the fuck? Why do I have a pre-owned copy? Some people want particularly a brand new copy of a game, shrink wrapped and all. Some people like to collect that shit. Some people just, I'm one of them. If I have the choice of buying new or pre-owned, a lot of times I'll buy like a new game, I'll buy it new. If it just came out, I want the new copy. I want my fucking new copy. I like the whole ritual. I like unwrapping it. I like cracking it open. The smell of technology that you can just, it's like a small momentary high, and you don't get that very often in life. That kind of momentary high from opening a new technological product. Keep doing that. But that would piss me off. Wouldn't that piss you off? Let me know in the comments below. But hopefully they're not doing that anymore. I think that it seems like they are moving in the right direction. The stores are still doing pretty well. I still go to GameStop. It's not like I left GameStop and was like, oh, fuck, it was a horrible job. Fuck them, I hope they go under. I've still enjoyed going into GameStop over the years since I stopped working there. Overall, I had a good experience on the job. It was always fun shooting the shit about games with people. when you weren't being forced to deliver overly robotic sales pitches to people and shit like that. I did a great job selling the power-up cards because I showed people like how it would actually benefit them. You know what I mean? If you're buying a stack of games, right, and you get 10% off each one, and if you have the power-up card, you're not only going to get the power-up card basically for free, but it's also going to take like an additional $10 off your purchase, so you're not going to pay anything for it for the year, and you're also going to get $10 off your games. Why wouldn't you take that offer? I did have one person do that one time, and it pissed me the fuck off. That did piss me off. This guy, he was in that situation. He had like a stack of pre-owned games. And I was like, if you get the power-up card, you're not going to pay for it today. Like, it normally costs $15, but if you have the power-up card, you're going to save like $25 total. So, with the power-up card, you're paying this much. Or without the power-up card, you're paying this much. With it, it's going to be that minus $25. Why? Who wouldn't do that? He's like, no, I don't want it. Okay, maybe I'm not explaining myself. Maybe I messed up. What I'm saying is, if you just take this card home with you today, if you give me your email address so I can type it in, you take this home, then your purchase is going to be $25 less than if you don't. Huh? You get it? Huh? You're like, no, I don't want it. No, I'm good. Okay. All right. Okay. Be a fucking idiot. Fine. Go for it. You'll go for that, That to me is an unreasonable customer. That to me is a customer just being a fucking son of a bitch. That's it. That's stupid. That is stupid in my opinion. But whatever. Maybe he didn't want to give his email out. Fine. That's your call. You don't have to. You don't have to give your shit to anyone. I'm just saying. How many people would turn that down? I wouldn't turn that down. You take that $25, you can go buy a different game today. You could add another game to the pile. You'd go and get yourself a nice meal. Or at least you could have at that point. Now it's like fucking $90 to get a double cheeseburger or a big boy. You probably spend $250 if you take your family to Big Boy out to Frisch's for the evening. Whatever. Anyhow, I'm just kind of rambling and blambling, and it's almost been about 20 minutes, so I should probably wrap it up, shouldn't I? I'm not giving you any technical information. That's not what this is about. This is just me, again, saying, I choose now to live as a GameStop shareholder. I am not here for a quick turnaround. I am here to be part of the team, and I want the long-standing members of the community to know there are still people like me jumping in, getting into the mix, throwing my hat in the ring, taking a few bucks, taking the shit that I put in crypto and being like, actually, I would rather have it over here. That's largely what I've done. I'm not a person who has... I keep just fucking with everything around here today. I'm not a person who has a bunch of extra cash laying around. It's like I invested in some crypto and kind of let it sit, because one of the things I was really hopeful about, this will probably be for a very, very, very select few. I'm actually almost certain no one's going to know what I'm talking about. But if anyone here, anyone watching, invested in something called Unistake back in 2020, 2021, just know you're not alone in your disappointment. Turned out to be a complete shit show coin, perhaps a complete scam. I don't know what happened behind the scenes. Long story. Not interested in telling anyone what happened there right now, but it was a shit show. It was a bad investment. And so I had some money sitting around in some other crypto shits that I just got into like maybe about a week and a half ago. And I was like, do I still have that? Because I started hearing about this GameStop stuff coming back in the news. I saw, hey, GameStop back in the news, Kev. You hear about this, huh? If Leno were on, that's what he would be saying right now. He'd be talking about GameStop being back in the news. But I started seeing it back in the news, and I was like, man, you know, I think it would have been fun to be a part of that when it was going on. Is that still happening? So I started looking into it, and it's like, yeah, it is. There's still a lot going on there. Why don't I go and grab that money that's just sitting there in these crypto accounts that I don't even fucking pay attention to anymore, and just move it over to GameStop? And that's what I've done. That's my story of how I've gotten a foot in the door. And now as I follow it and as I get deeper into it, I'm like, how can I get a little bit more? I'm finally getting around now, I think, to grabbing some of like the action figures and collectibles that I've got sitting in my garage. You know, we moved into a new house. A bunch of shit went out there that I just can't display. So it's been sitting there. I was like, well, why don't I take that stuff and put it on eBay and see if I can get some extra cash coming in here and get myself a few more shares, just add to the pile a little bit, you know? That's how I'm thinking now. And it's fun. It's a good time. That's all. I too like the stock. I like the company. Used to work there. Happy times when I worked there with one of my best buds in life for a while. My buddy Bender, who played some music with. He's actually, we used to do some reviews together on this channel. There's a long history of old Super Divorce and GameStop. And obviously I play lots and lots of games here on the channel. So it's a nice connection. I feel like it's a convergence of some interests that should have come together long ago. But better late than never, eh? So that's about all I got for you right now, everyone. Until next time, take real good care, keep kicking ass, love you lots. Lord willing, I'll be back very soon with another video for you to watch. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. We're gonna go viral with this one.